Michelle Ceglia, hair department head, Dexter. I'm from the East Coast, and grew up in Jersey and been living in New York for like 16 years, but happened to be able to get into the union out here on a film. And anyway, I was sort of still living in New York and just came out to see some friends and to do a job, but I was mostly print and all of that, but I was, was doing film and when I could here. And I got a phone call from Keith Hall, and he said, do you want a department head, Dexter? And I was like, yeah, okay. And he's like, alright, well, let me see what's going on. We got a lot of stuff happening right now, and I'll need you to just come meet Michael, but, that's it. No pressure. Totally cool. Cut to the next day. So he called me on a Thursday, and this is a Friday. I came to the location they were at, and he brought me to Michael's trailer and introduced me as the new hair department head for the show starting Monday. And basically I spent the entire weekend home breaking down 2 episodes and just working my ass off on what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, and it was just nuts. It was nuts. And I showed up Monday morning, and Julie Benz was the first person I met, and the rest is history. And I'm pretty honored to still be here because there's a new hairdresser every season until I got here. So I've been here 6 seasons now, and yeah, that's pretty much how it went down. The first season I was here, season 3. I mean, it was kind of a big, crazy, overwhelming blur because things moved very quickly here, and I was still trying to figure everyone out. I had a couple of different assistants, like, trying to, like, get the right vibe for the trailer, because it always is a weird thing to get the perfect person. We have a very sort of calm, professional, sometimes serious trailer. We definitely, like, have fun, but anyway, so I had to go through a bunch of people to find the right fit. And season 3 was the season someone actually almost got killed here. I know I can talk about this because it was it did make it onto Perez or something somehow, but that was insane. And basically it was we were on set with Jimmy Smits and Michael, and it was going to be Miguel Prado, who Jimmy was playing, his first kill. And the guy was on a big sort of like something from Vegas, one of those wheels that looked like a Wheel of Fortune type thing. Anyway, I shouldn't even be telling this story with a smile, but it was just so insane. That day we were using prop knives and real knives, and the real knife was being used, but maybe not everyone understood it or remembered it or heard it. And because those scenes are always very intense, kill scenes, and so the real knife, not in Michael's hands, went straight down into the actor, who was wearing a tiny chest plate, and it just barely stuck in the corner of the chest plate. So it was just like not even a centimeter off from going straight through the man's heart. Anyway, it was insane. It was crazy after that. Everyone was like totally freaked out. Big reactions to almost actually killing a man, Dexter style, wrapped to a table in saran wrap. And we all sort of collected ourselves and got back to work when we could. and that was it. But it was a crazy moment. It was like, okay, we were about 5 seconds away from like the show never happening again, basically. So that's season 3. And then season 5 was just after Michael finished his treatments, and we were just going to Miami, and had to have these wigs made and everything, and it was sort of, you know, it was definitely this thing of no one was going to know at all that he was being wigged, so that was just a boatload of pressure, but somehow we pulled it off, and I mean, as far as I know, we pulled it off. I have hairdresser friends who tell me they can't even understand where the wig is, so that's a good thing. I'm proud of that. But yeah, I mean, the days were extra crazy and extra hard because of the wigs on Michael, and then Julia Stiles, awesome chick, but, you know, she has also, like, tons of hair, and then there's, like, Jennifer with tons of hair, and just, you know, it was a heavy year. And I remember I would be the last one sitting up blocking that wig and doing my thing to, like, get it ready for the next day, and it was pretty crazy. There was one night we were shooting at El Dorado Park where I just finished all my work, and I came outside, and it was literally just crickets. No one was there, no trailers were there, it was literally me and skunks in the dark, in the middle of the night, probably almost morning by then. So that was a giant undertaking, and but now sometimes I actually miss it. I miss wigging him and doing all that stuff. It was fun to have the responsibility to make him look like him. So season 5 was extremely difficult, also because no one was allowed to know about the wig. So it turned, I mean, people on set, well, some people actually weren't sure and didn't know, but what I did to help, because men's wigs can be kind of tricky, especially when you're trying to make someone look like they used to. His wig was in 3 pieces, and we had a neck piece that I would glue on, then a middle piece that would connect the top and the neck piece seamlessly, so he could move and nothing would be buckling or jumping off of his head. So anyway, but yeah, it was something I couldn't tell people, and then when I could and everything, everyone was sort of like, you know, it's like you have to put yourself up for an Emmy, and I'm like, well, I'm going to put myself up for an Emmy for him looking like himself. And by the way, no one's allowed to know, there was actually an interview I think he did around that time and mentioned the wig, and yeah, it was like a big no-no. So, you know, because also the audience should just be able to watch and not look for anything like that. So I was happy that I've been told I pulled it off very well, and no one knew, and nothing was interrupted, production still went on, and you know, it was a little crazy the first run in Miami, on boats going very fast with him in this crazy 3-piece wig, where generally I'd go over and just grab his head and just, for fear of the thing, like the lace ripping. I mean, I had it all very tacked on, but like, you know, we were going really fast on those boats. Last 6 years of my life have been an awesome wild ride, because I'm psyched that I get to come here every day for 5 months a year and be with what has become a family. Everyone's really close, and we do 12 to 18 hours a day, 5 days a week, so it's like we're all really living together, and we know so much about each other. We've been through so much together. You know, like relationships and breakups and family members getting sick and whatever. It's sort of like we're all just in this crazy, weird, awesome world, and get to lean on each other, whether we like it or not. There, you know, it becomes a family. We're all very, very close, and my life has changed. Well, I moved from New York. I was here for 3 seasons before I let my place go in New York, and totally succumbed to living in LA and getting a car and doing all that stuff and drinking smoothies and whatnot. It's all true. It happens when you're here for a while. And let's see what else has changed. I mean, I've worked on other amazing shows. American Horror Story, I was really honored to be with them and won an Emmy with them. So I did get one, but it wasn't for Michael's wig. The Amazing Spider-Man, like, I've gotten to work on really cool stuff, and just meet a lot of great people. And, you know, just working on the show, department editing the shows, people have so much respect for it. In every way, the writing and the makeup and everything is really well respected. So, so I too am, in turn, respected by association and hopefully the hard work. I was a kid, I always played with sort of everyone's hair, and of course I had that big Barbie head to like play with that hair too. And as I got older, my best friend's aunt was a hairdresser, and she owned a salon, Aunt Dee. She owned her own salon, and she would show me stuff like, I would French braid my best friend's little sister's hair, and like, I started with things like that. And she always said, like, oh, you could totally do this, like, you have talent. But for me, it was more like, I was just enjoying what I was doing at the time and, like, just messing around, really. But there was always an element of some sort of hair. My mother used to set my hair in full-on pin curls with metal clips when I would, after a bath, to go to sleep, so then she could form my hair into, like, perfect banana curls the next day. I think hair was put upon me. Like, it was always there, but it's like, my mom kind of wanted to be a hairdresser, so she would go crazy with my hair. Then my best friend's aunt sort of influenced me and gave me some confidence. And then in high school and stuff, I would do other people's hair a little, you know, even like we'd have a party, and like I remember one day someone asking me like shave part of her head and like put lines in it and stuff, and it was all just like really fun stuff. And then when I graduated high school, I was sort of like, I'm not sure what I want to do. I kind of wanted to like do something with music or something with movies, and then it just sort of hit me. I was like, oh, I can just go get a license to do hair. It's something I've always done and something I always had fun with, and in my mind somehow I'd be able to get into all of this eventually, which is weird. I mean, I said in beauty school, like, I'm not going to go work in any salon here in Jersey. I'm going to go straight into the city. I was like, whatever, I'm going to do photo shoots and like celebrities and blah, blah, blah. Like, I was just like this bratty 18-year-old that thought I was going to do all this stuff, and then I came to do all of this stuff. And I feel really just lucky that it's come out this way. I mean, I don't know what, like, I just said it and it's the path I'm on, but, you know, I guess I'm just, I'm lucky. So yeah, I went to hair school, moved into the city, immediately started assisting at Louis Licari because I wanted to be a colorist only. Did mostly all my color training there. And I spent 4 years at Warren Tricomie and like some other, basically, like I said, like high-end salons that catered to ladies who lunch and very important people and celebrities. And yeah, I mean, I could walk into work and like literally it's like Nancy Reagan standing there and JFK Jr. and Sharon Stone, and so I got a lot of exposure very early on to all this that I do now, in a way. A lot of good training. Hair and makeup people ask all the time about getting in the union and stuff like that. I think the best thing to do, first of all, is honestly not even to attempt this world without training. Like, you know, go to school, get your license, and then work really hard training. I think being trained in salons first, at the places that I worked at, which were very like high-end salons. I was always trained like don't speak unless spoken to, and just how to be professional, basically, with clients, and which, you know, then turns into this whole thing where I have to deal with actors, and, you know, there's people don't like unprofessional, so I think training for some of that is great. So high-end salons, wonderful. Print, awesome. And Fashion Week and stuff like that for training. Because you're just thrown into a million different situations where it's like you have to think really fast. And a lot of that happens on set where, you know, just like, they're like, oh, guess what? We have like a few Jennifers on Monday. And I'm like, okay, now I've got to like figure out wigs like right now and like get this color to blah, blah, blah. Like they just, a lot of things come at you very quickly, and production's always going to keep throwing crazy stuff at you. So in order to prepare for all of that, I think print and runway, Fashion Week, great training, salons, get some of that stuff, you know, under your belt. And then in terms of getting in the union, my favorite thing to do is be around the hairdressers who have been in the union forever, and just pick their brain and hear the stories and listen to, you know, everything from back in the day and old tricks and all of that. Really take their advice, people who've been in the union for a long time, because there's just so much that we don't do anymore and no one teaches us anymore, and like that's the only way to learn it once you get on set, is to really, you know, watch, pay attention, and never ever think you know everything. Always remain teachable. That's what I was told. Always remain teachable. Okay, Tim Burton's films, I believe it's always Yolanda Tousing, and there's Terry Bollea, and there's a lot of people in the union that have done insane, beautiful things with hair. So, but I'm always attracted to more, you know, sort of Tim Burton type stuff, like extra creative, crazy hair and period work. But I have friends and peers who are inspirations too. I mean, you know, on American Horror Story, I always tell Monty that he's, you know, like the most amazing hairdresser, and like I learned so much from him and blah blah blah, and of course he always just tells me to shut up, and he learns from me too. But yeah, I mean, inspiration for me is more about the movies that I love, and then finding out who's done that incredible stuff, and, you know, yeah, so I've got some hair idols. I will say that when I was on Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, my boss was awesome over there, Catherine Gordon, but I was totally, and I'm not a makeup artist, totally starstruck by V. Neil, which felt super dorky, because I was like, okay, I'm on this giant set for Spider-Man, this is so cool. However, all I can think of is V. Neil. Sorry, I'll just say, I was just thinking, oh my god, it's V. Neil. So anyway, and she's totally badass and the coolest lady ever. Next, I'm going to go back on American Horror Story, which will be my 3rd season there. And yeah, I mean, I'm super blessed to know any of them, because they're all unbelievable hair, makeup, everything. I can't imagine being let in the door, really, without the whole, oh, but she's a department head of Dexter. I feel like it's definitely given people who don't know me like a little bit of comfort or confidence that, you know, that I kind of know what I'm doing, because I'm associated with a really great show that, you know, that people love. So that's worked out nicely. And even, you know, a lot of the people in the industry are just huge fans of the show, so right there, you know, that helps. The biggest takeaway from the show would probably be the love and trust that all of us have built and created here. And you know, the show's over, but I really don't feel like anyone is going to be out of my life. I know we all go do our own things, but it's sort of like the bond is what I'll take with me. It's been a lot of laughing, a lot of crying, and a lot of blood. So I'm gonna choose to keep everyone as best I can, and all the beautiful memories, and coming to work, psyched to come to work, and thinking about work after work, because it's been so much fun, and such a great thing to all come together and create and work on. So, yeah.